Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. This is MoveEasy Yoga Online with Via. It is September 17th, Thursday, September 17th. We're going to start in the regular, ordinary fashion, just lying on your back, supine. You may want to put a mobility strip under your waist, especially if you have lower back instability. You may want to put some towels, a stack of towels under your head to create neutral cervical spine. Just starting to watch your breath, the breath you came in with. Feel the floor supporting your back body. If you have a sankalpa, a mantra that you'd like to say, you can do that here. One of the mantras I recommend is, I love my body and my body loves me. Spend a few minutes imagining and meditating from the pituitary gland. I'm going to tell you where to find that. The pituitary gland is behind the eye sockets. Imagine the optic nerve is going back behind the eye sockets from the eyeballs and crossing, and then that's where the pituitary gland is, except a little below that. So this is a very quiet, still place to go to. Bring your hands behind your head for vagus nerve reset. Interlace your fingers or stack your hands. And stay here without moving anything but your eyeballs, and with your eyes closed or open, either one way. Shift your eyeballs to the right. And then watch for an involuntary sigh, swallow, gulp, or yawn. Return to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left. And watch for an involuntary sigh, swallow, gulp, or yawn. Come back to center and repeat 2 more times, right, left, without my cueing. It's nice to start with a vagus nerve reset because it assures that you will be less tense for your practice. And when you're finished, keep your hands where they are for head ramping. So this time, we're going to press the occipital ridge, the base of the back of the skull, into your hands and into the floor. Your back of your head will glide along the upward along the mat, and your chin will tuck a little bit. And then stay there and take a couple breaths. And repeat four times. I recommend head ramping once every, or a set of head ramps on the hour if you have rounded shoulders or text neck. Finish up. Bring your hands down beside your hips. We're going to practice Viloma breathing. This is in Viloma breathing, you divide the inhale into three parts. Inhale, fill a third of the lungs, and pause. Inhale again, second third, pause. Inhale again, and the last third. And then an ordinary exhale. Finish up, one more breath. We're going to move on to hypopressives. We're going to do the bridge hypopressive. So your heels are on the floor. So your knees are bent, heels on the floor, toes towards the ceiling, dorsiflexing. And now 3 breaths. And then at the end of the third breath, holding your breath out and lifting your hips and bringing your arms overhead. So just like Kathy's demonstrating. And then after 10 counts, and I'll do the 10 counts. I'm going to do 12, I think. We're advancing to 12. Then you come on down. We'll do the bridge twice. So inhale, 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. No breath. Hold your breath. Lift your hips. Bring your arms overhead. 1, 2. No breath. Hold the breath out, I should say. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale and come on back. Exhale. Continue to come back. So inhale and exhale. Come back to start. We'll do one more of the bridge hypopressive. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. No breath. Hold your breath out. Lift your hips. Bring your arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Inhale, the hips come down. Exhale, the arms come down. We're going to stay here and do a few movements, 2 movements that are supine. The first one I call a double diamond. So bring your soles of your feet together and drop your knees out to the side. That's the bottom diamond. And then bring your arms overhead and and bend your elbows. They're on the floor. That's the top diamond. And just stay here and breathe. If it's uncomfortable, if you're to have your elbows off the floor, you may want to put a towel or a blanket or washcloths underneath the elbows. And just stay here and breathe and feel the 2 diamonds. And then keep the diamond shape, except extend your right leg. Extend your right leg so it's a half of a diamond on the bottom, right? And then from here, just do ankle circles with your right ankle. So let's see. Yep. Just circle your ankles 6 times in one direction, 6 times in another. Trying to think of the movement as happening from the ankle, not the front of the foot. Reverse your circles. And then switch sides. Extend left leg and make ankle circles with your left ankle. Remember to reverse. And when you're done, lie on your side with your head on a sponge ball or a brick for leg lifts and some other sideline hip work. Let's just do 6. So remember, your knees are stacked, your ankles are stacked. Your shoulders are stacked. Extend your top leg and just lift it up. You can droop your toes if you want. If you start to feel this in the groin, you've gone too far. So this is an abductor, adductor movement. And when you've done 6, bring it back down and forward and backward. So forward, and you can dorsiflex your foot, and then when you come back, extension, plantar flex. So point the toes backward and forward. So this is both leg, hip work, and footwork. And if you want to, you can pause when you're back and squeeze your glutes. And then come forward into flexion. So try to keep everything still except the hip joint. And finish up and bend your knee and put your sponge ball between your thighs. And squeeze. So this is mainly the top leg that's the adductor is moving and gaining strength. So 6 times, squeeze the top leg into the sponge ball. And then when you're finished, remove the ball. And we're going to do clams with an internal rotation at the outer edge. So it's a little different than we've done before, but very helpful to the hips. So open the clam, but lift the foot up. So sorry. So bring your knee back down, Kathy, and then lift the foot at the same. So let's see. So you're at 90 degrees with your knees. That's not it. So okay. Now open up just as if you're opening a door. Lift your foot too. So the foot comes up there. Good. Now from here, you're going to internally rotate the thigh. There. Okay, that's the second movement. And then come back to the open door and then close.
Okay.
Okay, now open up. Lift your heel a little bit more so you're at a 90-degree angle. Now internally rotate. Nice. Then come back. And now come down. And do that a couple more times. Open. Rotate. You probably feel something at the side of your hip. And then come on down. Open. Internal rotation. Back. And then return. One more. Open. Rotate. Return. And return. Okay, flip over to the other side. We'll do all of those on the other side. Starting with leg lifts. Remember that you're stacked, shoulders stacked, hips stacked, knees stacked. Make your brick the width that allows you to stack your shoulder, your bottom shoulder under your top shoulder. Straighten your leg, droop your foot, up and down you go. Two more. Come back to neutral and forward. So flexion and dorsiflexion, and then backward, extension, and plantar flexion. And if you'd like, you can pause at the back and squeeze your glute. This is hip work and footwork. And one more. And then bend your knees and stack them on top of each other and put the sponge ball in between the thighs. If you don't have a sponge ball, you can use a rolled up towel, a big towel or blanket. Squeezing the top leg, the top thigh, adductor, big squeeze. See if you can start to strengthen that inner thigh muscle. And two more. And let the ball go. Bring your knees to 90 degrees. So it's bring your knees a little closer to your face first, Kathy. Go down on the floor. And now there, from here, open and internally rotate. And then bring it back and close. Open, rotate, return, and return. Open, rotate, close. Two more. Open, rotate, return, and return. Last one. Open, rotate, return, and return. Come to a floor-seated position, asymmetrical, and we're going to do side bends. Then we're going to do the spine twist with intercostal slide, and then we'll do stack knees and a wrist twist. So the first will be side bend, the first in this triplet. Just taking your right hand down along the floor and keep your hips and sits bones on the floor and slide that arm out, up, and the top arm up and over. If this is not painful for you, if it's painful, you don't need to do the top arm. And stay here. I'm going to, sorry, I didn't start timing, but I'm going to time it. And then go ahead and bring your elbow forward for the rest of the pose. So working on QL at first, the side bend, and then this works along the side body of the back side body, the latissimus dorsi, maybe a little bit of the mid and lower trapezius. And come on up. And come on back. And other side. So left arm, top arm up and over. Be sure to keep your hips on the floor. Breathing, stretching, side bending. And then go ahead and bring your elbow forward and feel the stretch shift to the outside of the back body. And come on back up. And stay in a cross-legged position, but switch sides. We're going to do a spine twist and add intercostal slide. So take your right hand and put it on your left knee. Bring your left hand behind you and make a little tripod with your fingers. So your palm isn't on the floor, just the fingers. Try to rotate so that your your chest is parallel to the mat, the end of the mat. And once you've gotten your spinal twist in place, go ahead and slide your rib cage side to side, trying to massage and release the intercostal muscles that run between the ribs, side to side. And then slowly come out of this and come to the other side. Left hand on right knee, right arm behind you, making little stilts with your fingers. Rotate as far as you can, just do your best. And then stay here and start to slide the rib cage back and forth while you remain in your spine twist. Come on back. We're going to do this on the other side. We're going to do one more set. So switch. You can switch your legs too. Right leg cross. Right hand on left knee. Bring your left hand behind you. Like a stilts. Rotate as far as you can so the chest is parallel to the end of the mat, or almost parallel. You might not make that level of rotation. When you're here, while you're here, just slowly explore the intercostals, just sliding them back and forth. If this starts to involve the upper trapezius, make it a little smaller, that glide movement. Or keep it in the rib cage. Slowly come back, go to the other side, recross your legs, left hand on right knee, right hand behind you with the fingers like stilts. Rotate as far as you can. And once you get the rotation in place, start to slide the rib cage back and forth. Come on back. And then stack your knees one on top of the other, pointing forward. Another floor-seated position. As you know, I believe that if more of us sat more of the time on the floor, a lot of our mobility issues and flexibility issues would go away. This is a great position to open up, release the piriformis and the SI joint. So from here, bring your hands in front of you, palms facing each other, straight forward, hands straight forward. Now lift your right hand and up and over, so it's now the palms are facing each other. Interlace your fingers and then bring them down towards your knee and then towards your chest and then up towards your chin. From here, so this is a modified, this is cow pose on the bottom, cow face pose on the bottom. And this is a modified wrist exercise that's a substitute for the cow face posed on the top. I think it's a better wrist movement. So that's why I don't know that we'll ever grow up and do the other one. Switch sides, switch legs, come out of it slowly. Cow face pose on the bottom. Hands out in front of you. This time the left hand goes up and over and the right. So you're interlacing again. The palms are facing each other again. Down toward the chest and up to the chin. Sit tall and breathe. You can drop your wrists farther down if you can. Come on out of this. We're going to stay in a floor seated, but you can find a comfortable one. You need a brick and one therapy ball. We're going to do some wrist work. No, start with 2 therapy balls actually in the toe. So you can cross your legs. You can sit on your heels. Hero pose. You can do what I call easy. No, kneesy or easy. Which so there's hero pose, and show them the easy. So the knees in an S or Z shape. There. So any of those, and take your brick and put it. Let's start on the right. Take your brick and put it down on the right side of you, and take your balls and put them under your at your wrist. And you're just going to roll in that little crevice between the 2 balls is where your forearm is going. And you're just going to roll back and forward. So it's not the hand. You're going to roll all the way back to the elbow. There. And feel. So when you get as far back to the elbow as you can go, and then back and forth you go. And one of the things you're going to start doing is rolling your forearm. So sometimes you're on the side of the forearm, sometimes you're on the back of the forearm. All of the different angles of the forearm, back and forth. Slowly, this should feel really good, and start to release some of the forearm tension that we hold because we work on the computers and and our phones. Just back and forth you go. You may find a place that you want to be more than another place. You may find that it's not long enough for you. Maybe you'll just want to try this on the floor, but you're going to have to lean off to the side to do that if you did it without a brick. Or let me see if I've stacked 2 bricks. So the idea is to massage all up and down the arm. And go ahead and circle. So make wrist circles. So stop moving the ball, have it down near your wrist, and hold on to your wrist. So hold on to your wrist with the other hand, and then circle. So you're pressing the forearm into the groove and then circling your wrist. And reverse. If you don't have therapy balls, I hope you have tennis balls and a sock. The next two movements we're going to do are one therapy ball. We're going to do thumbs and palm. And the first one is called thumb splits. So you start with your thumb holding onto the ball, and then press the ball into the brick, and then press the thumb into thumb splits, pressing the thumb into the ball. And just stay here and breathe, and maybe you'll find a place that you really want to be that's a little different than another place here. And then just press that entire thumb web into the ball, into the brick. So you're coming a little bit farther forward on your thumb. And now bring the ball back down towards the thumb pad. So now you're not in the thumb split area. You're at the base of the thumb and trying to press into the ball there. So this is a place that actually will hold a lot of tension. Pressing down into, it's this area right here at the edge, base of the thumb. Pressing down and breathing, and then maybe rolling a little back and forth. The next place to find is in the base of the palm. So put the ball at the base of the palm and explore that area with the ball. And then you'll want to actually eventually come into the middle. So you're really basically squeezing the ball, and you can even wrap your hand around the ball if you want, and then open it. So close and open. But you're working on this entire area, the base of the palm, the thumb base, and then the middle of the palm. And if you find a place that's especially delicious, just stay there. But I'm sorry to say we have to switch to the other side. Switch legs too. But and the first thing we're going to do is both balls in the tote, and then massaging the edges of the forearm. You want to come all the way to the elbow and all the way back to the wrist. You may have to move, you may have to adjust your balls to do that. Sometimes you can have your wrist, your forearm down into the crevice, but then you'll want to move it, so move to the side. So find the several angles that you can find on your forearm. Actually, moving to the side isn't a very good description because it's just changing sides. You can pause at the elbow and see if you can find some tension spots to release. You can pause at the wrist and find some tension spots to release. When you're finished there, take one ball out and do thumb splits. So remember, your forefinger and your thumb are holding onto the ball. You're pressing the ball into the brick. And then just moving slightly in all of the directions that are possible. pressing as hard as you can. And then going to the base of the thumb. Find the base of the thumb and press the base of the thumb into the brick, into the ball, into the brick. And move if you want. Actually, you can just use compression and not use movement if you want. And then go to the base of the palm. And now you'll want to move back and forth, maybe a little up and down. When you go up, you're going to go into the middle of the palm. So, but spend some time on the base of the palm because probably there's more tension there than in the middle. And whenever you're ready, you can open and close your fingers also on the ball now. So the ball is kind of the middle of the palm. Then you squeeze the fingers around the ball and then open them. And squeeze and open. Come up to standing. Or back bend at the wall. So stand with your back to the wall in good posture. Feet straight forward. And then bring your arms overhead. Kathy's going to make a better visual for us. You're going to bring your arms overhead, palms on the wall overhead, and then back bend and use your arms and pressing the arms into the wall to open up the chest. And I'm going to time this because this is a bone building pose, working on the upper back, the thoracic spine, increasing bone quality, rebuilding bone in the upper back, which is actually the place that compression fractures are most frequent. Well, along the spine. Come on out of this. Let's do a side bend at the spine twist at the wall. So, and then we'll come back and do another back bend. So spine twist, your right shoulder is at the wall. And your right leg comes forward. Your left leg comes back. And you're going to have to find for yourself the optimal distance that your body and your feet are from the wall. Then bend your elbows and rotate, spinal rotation. So the hips are forward, but the thoracic spine has rotated parallel to the wall, or as good as you can get. And stay here and breathe. We're timing this. This is another spinal bone building event. And reverse. So spine twist on the right, on the left. Left shoulder near the wall, left inside foot, left foot forward, right foot back, bend your elbows and rotate. Use your hands, even try what's it like to press just on one hand or one forearm, or what's it like to press on just the other to help with your rotation. Just breathing and enjoying the rotation, which is actually good for you in many, many ways, including the building bone. We're timing this so that we can give the osteocytes a chance. They don't start for 12 seconds and they go on for 72, but we're timing for 30. Come on, Mac. Shake it out if you need to or want to. And then we'll do another back bend at the wall, timed. So your back is on the wall, against the wall, and pressing away from the wall with your hands to open your chest. Terry, this is one of Dr. Fishman's moves, this back bend at the wall. That he, the one that he made up. I like it a lot, actually. Come on out of this and come to the floor, prone. We're going to do back bend on the floor. We're going to do a basic back extension and then airplane. And we're not going to do Superman or Superwoman. This is a Pilates version of a back extension. One of my favorites. You're lying on the floor with your hands beside your hips, palms up. You may want to put a small towel under your pubic bone if it's sensitive. Or a small towel underneath your head. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to lift your chest, your head, and your hands. We're going to stay here for 30 seconds because this is a bone building pose. It's also builds muscle along the upper back. So that's the bonus here. And just stay here, and if you want to, you can lift up a little higher. Remember, you can come down if you need to and work up to this, the 15 seconds. Inhale to prepare to return, and exhale to return to the floor. We're going to add arms out to the side in airplane. So inhale to prepare, exhale, lift the arms to chest the head, and then inhale to prepare for your arms to come out, and then exhale them out into airplane. Stay here. We're going to time it. Stay here for 30 seconds if you can. Come out of it if you need to. In the middle, if you want to lift your chest a little higher, do so. One of the things I've noticed about Kathy, since I get to look at her a lot, is how much her upper back has improved. I think mainly because of these back bends. Go ahead and inhale to prepare to come down, and then exhale, come all the way down. Bring your arms out into a T. Glue your arms, armpits, and shoulders to the floor. Look to the right, lift your right leg, and bring it behind the left leg so your hips can move, will move, and the back, upper back stays in place. Let's go ahead and time this for 30 seconds also. Just stay here and breathe. If you want to, you can bend your knee and try to get your top knee and try to get it, your leg to come behind you a little more, or at least your foot. But just to play around with that. It almost doesn't matter what you do as long as you're lifting that leg. And maintaining stability with your, come on back, look left, lift your left leg and bring it back or behind you, your opposite leg. And keep your shoulders, armpits, and arms on the floor. Breathe. Your timing. Adding the extra time allows the osteocytes to build new bone for you. And come on back. And come into a child's pose. We're going to do a child's pose with shoulder stretch to close before Yoga Nidra. Come into a wide kneed or narrow kneed child's pose. Roll your arms forward. Feel a nice long stretch in your back. And then take your right arm and thread it under your left armpit. Bring your arm up closer to your armpit if you can, Kathy. We'll see. And try to keep your shoulders even or almost even. So the other half will see the back side of this pose. Just staying here and breathing. Nice shoulder opener for the right shoulder. And also, so drop your left shoulder if you can, Kathy. Mm-hmm. And if you can, bring your arm up a little higher. Not that arm, the arm that's tucked under, that's threaded. That might be your cranky arm. I'm not sure. And so come on out of this and switch to the other side. So Kathy, go ahead and, oh no, yeah, stay there, because now they'll see the way it looks on the other side. So switch to the other side. Can you see that now you're seeing the back side of this pose? You can tell it's a shoulder stretch here. Drop your right shoulder if you can, Kathy. Good. Now you'll get more of a stretch if you can keep your shoulders even or almost even. Just stay here and breathe. And come on slowly out of this. Find your way onto your back, supine for Yoga Nidra, closing the class, to close the class. The goal is for you to be warm and comfortable. You may want to put a small towel over your eyes to help your eyeballs sink into the sockets. You may want to put a blanket. I always think of Diana when I say put a blanket over yourself, because I figure in Alaska she must be colder than the rest of us, but she's not here today. A couple of people are missing, but hopefully they'll be back on Saturday or Monday. So I'm going to guide you through 61 points. And Leslie will be here on Monday. She's working today. Guide you through 61 points in your body. Please don't move. Just move your mind and your attention to the points, starting with your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. And observing your belly as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. Now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows. Center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your heart, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes our 61-point guided meditation. Go ahead and start to bring your attention back to the room and to your body, your wiggling body. Extend your legs along the floor and extend your arms overhead and wiggle and stretch and try to create a little bit more space between your pelvis, the top of your pelvis and the bottom of your rib cage. Go ahead and rotate your wrists and your ankles. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Hug your right knee into your chest and your left knee into your chest. Hug both knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Rock from side to side and then finally roll to one side into a fetal position and stay here for 30 seconds with your arm as a pillow and your top hand on the floor. And then when you come up, use your top hand and try not to bend your back. So keep a straight back and bring yourself up to a floor-seated position. And unmute yourself. I'm going to cancel the spotlight. There will be all of us on the Zoom, all the tiles. Okay. From here, just bring your hands to your heart and press them together. Press them strongly together. And then now let that go. And just a soft prayer pose. Lift the occipital ridge up, just like we did with head ramping. And then nod and bow forward. So coming forward, the skull is rolling and nodding over the top of the cervical spine. Nodding, bowing to each other, recognizing and acknowledging the light in each other, and knowing that we are all one light. We're going to close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
Thank you.